Hello, and welcome to Cookie 201. This training is specifically for Service Unit 66 participants. The Cookie program is back with the theme Climb with Courage. But that's not all that's back. As of December 1st, we are allowed to do in-person sales. That means booths, walkabouts, standabouts, and accepting cash payments from our customers. And while not everything will be back to normal, this year will be a lot more similar to cookie seasons from before the pandemic. Anyone who is new to the cookie program might feel a bit overwhelmed with all there is to do. I'd like to focus on the key dates for the first half of the season. On Monday night, January 3rd, I will host a live Q&A on Zoom for anyone who has completed Cookie 101 and 201. This will be your opportunity to ask specific questions, hear more specific details, and in general, get some clarity. I will also be able to give you some information for anything that is unknown as of today. For example, if there are any changes to our safety guidelines or protocols around booths. If your troop has completed all the necessary steps, which includes completing permission forms from parents, then your scouts may begin taking orders on Friday, January 7th. This can either be on their paper order form or through their digital cookie site. I'll speak more about the cookie rally in a moment, but the date is Saturday, January 8th at 10 a.m. The remainder of the dates, such as the booth rounds, the initial orders, etc., those are also listed in your Troop Product Manager Guide. More details on those in a moment. Every year, the Council helps us negotiate booth locations with popular grocery stores in our area. Unfortunately, there can be a serious competition for the best booth locations and times. In order to make the process equitable, we sign up for booths in rounds. On the first night of booth signups, the system will go live at 8 p.m. At that point, you can submit your request for up to 4 booths. There's also a maximum in each round of only 2 booths per location. For example, you can sign up for 2 booths at Walmart and 2 booths at other locations. Booth locations that are outside of our service area, such as West Eugene and Springfield, will not be available to us during the first 3 rounds. Those are reserved for Service Units 63 and 67. However, after round 3, there is no limit to how many booths your troop signs up for or their location. Please remember that booths are coveted. Be sure to cancel online with as much notice as possible. There's also a waiting list for each booth. If a troop cancels their shift online, everyone on the waiting list will be immediately emailed that the slot is open to be claimed. It is also acceptable to post on our Facebook group if you have a last-minute cancellation and your spot is open. Sometimes troops are able to scramble and get someone down there, even to work the last hour. If this is your first year experiencing booth sales, first of all, congratulations. It's pretty fun and exciting. Here are some helpful hints from more experienced troop leaders in our service unit. First, you're going to need cookies to sell at your booths. These cookies come from your troop inventory. They're not from an individual girl. So when placing your initial order, it's best to plan for about the first 2 weeks of booth sales. Remember, you'll be able to order more for future booths. A good rule of thumb for our area is to estimate 75 boxes per booth. If you sell them all in the first weekend, that's great. We can get you more for the second weekend. However, if your sales are closer to, say, 50 boxes per booth, you will not be stuck with hundreds of boxes. There are no rules about how many girls can work at the same time. However, we have discovered that two is the magic number. With two girls, there's plenty for each to do, and the number of boxes that they will split is worth their time. There's nothing more frustrating than having to split 40 boxes per 5 girls. Now you can have 3 or 4, but there will be less for each girl to do, and boredom breeds mischief and whining. You want the girls to be energetic and engaged as much as possible. Also, it's a space issue. Many of our locations do not have room for multiple girls and adults to squeeze into the allotted space. We absolutely do not want girls spilling over into a parking lot where there will be cars. As a courtesy to the next troop coming in after you, you need to start packing up 5 to 10 minutes early. You should be completely out of their way by the start of the next shift. And here's a word of advice from a leader who made this mistake in her first year. Don't schedule booths that are across town back to back. You'll be scrambling to pack up quickly at the booth in North Eugene and then racing across town to get set up at your next booth in South Eugene. It's not a good idea. Good news! We will have a service unit cookie cupboard this year. You will be able to have your weekly orders filled in the normal process, but in addition to that, we're going to keep extras on hand so that troops can restock on the weekends. When you're submitting your weekly orders, remember that individual box orders are okay up until the final order. Once we've reached the final stage of the sale, you will be warned that only case orders will be accepted. It's up to you if you want to keep a troop cookie cupboard. Some troops choose to only order what their girls have sold, and they are never stuck with extra. However, some troops intentionally order extra so that parents can come and pick up more throughout the sale. That's completely your choice. I highly encourage you to set clear boundaries with your parents. You are a volunteer and don't have to be available 24/7. If a parent calls you at 5:30 and says, "I need to rush over for more Thin Mints," it's perfectly acceptable to say, "No, I'm sitting down to dinner with my family, and the cookie cupboard is open on Thursday evenings from 5 to 7 p.m." You're the volunteer, and you get to set clear boundaries of when and where you will be available. Speaking of ordering extras, I think we need to take a moment to talk about Adventurefuls. This is the new cookie for the 2022 cookie season. It is going to become a part of our core lineup and sold for $5. I've tasted these cookies, and I've been in a group of other women who have tasted these cookies, and they are fantastic. I think it's very likely that it will become a lot of people's new favorite. Speaking from experience, when we've introduced a new cookie in the past, they tend to sell out quickly. In addition to that, I think people who try the new Adventurefuls are going to come back for more. So you might want to consider ordering a few extra boxes of these, or maybe a few extra cases, depending on how many your troop normally sells. We get to have a cookie rally in person this year. I am so excited to be teaming with Service Unit 63 to host a fabulous event for the girls. They will be able to sample the new Adventurefuls and rotate through activity stations to practice their cookie skills. And we'll top it off with a high energy incentive fashion show to model some of this year's fun rewards. We're going to pump these girls up and then let them loose to do pre-sales. This event is for parents too. Please encourage parents who are new to cookie sales in particular. We will have a separate presentation for them to give advice on how to best support their scout through the cookie program. Finally, please consider registering by December 31st. By registering early, you help us plan better and use resources wisely. Plus, each girl who is registered early will receive a swag bag full of koala-themed goodies to help her during her sale. Let's just say I found a gel pen with a koala on top that I couldn't resist. So, are you ready to get started? The next step is to train your parents. I have physical copies of the family guide and order sheet if you would like to arrange pickup. As an alternative, all of the materials are available in digital form in your Troop Product Manager Google folder. I will share that link in an email. You must have every parent sign the permission form. It is your responsibility to audit the list of completed forms to make sure that every participating girl has permission from a parent or guardian. I'm sure there are still questions after watching this video. Be on the lookout for a Zoom invitation to join our live Q&A session on January 3rd. And don't forget to talk up the cookie rally. We would really love to see everyone there. All right, I can't remember if I said this at the beginning, but my name is Jen McGuire. I'm the Service Unit 66 Product Manager, and my email is su66productmanager@gmail.com. That is really the best way to get a hold of me during the cookie season. And I typically don't give out my phone number to everybody, but if it's an emergency, yeah, I'll probably give it out. Okay, as a matter of fact, it's time to email me right now. In order to verify that you have watched this training video, please email me the date of the cookie rally. Once I get that email, I will mark your training as complete on the magic sheet. That lets Council know that you are ready for the email invitation to eBuddy. Oh, and one final thought. eBuddy is pretty complicated, but there are already a lot of training videos available. I chose not to go into detail here because you can see a lot in Cookie 101. Plus, Little Brownie Baker has a lot of support videos itself. However, when we have our live meeting, I can share my screen and answer any of your specific questions, like how to sign up for booths, using the cookie exchange to make trades, or managing your girl transactions. So save your questions and we'll go over it live. Thank you for listening, and don't forget, email me your answer. Have a great day.